Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Rodan. And today, as you can see, I'm still continuing to discuss Disney in my Disney movie marathon where I talk about their movies, of course, shows, whatever. If it's related to Disney in any shape or form, and yes, of course, I'm talking about it. So, okay, I want to mention a quick little video. It's like less than a minute. I want to talk about it, but let me give you some context here. And we all know that there's plenty of Donald Trump supporters out there QAnon to be more exact, which is basically this kind of conspiracy theory political movement. It pretty much operates on the American far right, and it was since it had something to do with Donald Trump, of course. And in the clip I'm about to show here real quick, apparently Disney is trying to brainwash kids into thinking what they view to be right, but the people of QAnon, Donald Trump supporters, I'm trying to help the children out because Disney is in the wrong somehow because witches, witchcraft, and some ridiculous stuff. And the clip also discussed this individual here. He's doing like a little commentary of his own, of course. This is from his TikTok, and he also has a YouTube channel, which I will highly recommend checking out because he likes to talk about cults and stuff like that. So yeah, he's been around for a good while. He's a former Jehovah's Witness. Yeah, he's a whole thing here, but good on him for bringing free. So here we go.
The Illuminati, the elites, they use the Wizard of Oz to mind control child slaves.
How gullible can you get? She claims to be an investigative journalist.
They use different media. Alice in Wonderland's another one. They use different Disney movies and certain films to program children. And part of the programming is having them watch these films, and they also abuse them and they physically abuse them. The abuse splits their personality and creates different personalities.
How does the Wizard of Oz factor into this? Does the Wizard of Oz split people's personality? What?
So then they are able to program them and control them, and they virtually become it's called MK Ultra programming.
Is there an end to what this woman will believe? Will we ever come to the end of the road where she would say, wow, that's just a little too far for me, man. I can't. I'm sorry.
Yeah, as I said a moment ago, folks, it's just this conspiracy theory that Disney is up to something bad. I mean, obviously, they don't only go after Disney, obviously. They go after everybody. Just basically anyone they believe to be in the wrong. Of course, the liberals, the Democrats, and whatnot. A lot of these Christian individuals believe Donald Trump to be the next Messiah, obviously, which doesn't make any sense, of course. And yeah, this is a whole thing, radio folks. I could go into it a lot more, but I'm just gonna leave it at that. Because the QAnon conspiracy theory individuals believe that the Democrat, of course, I'd be Democrat, these politicians, the Hollywood actors, or even high ranking American government officials, or just anybody like that that disagree with, are part of this movement against Donald Trump because, oh no, poor Donald Trump. And yes, in this regard, this would also include the Disney Corporation because they're trying to use think of the children. Think of the children idea, of course, as I mentioned before. But for this video, it's basically I know the idea that they're being reprogrammed or whatever to go against Christianity, to be rebellious, to go against what it means to be a good Christian. And yes, obviously, these individuals believe that in order to be a great, wonderful person, you have to be a Christian, which in itself is a lie. That sounds like a dictatorship. Obviously, they're going to claim that kind of thing when in reality, they're acting like a dictatorship themselves. I'm just thinking, is this lady mentally ill? Is she off? I don't get it. It just seems like conspiracy theory at the highest when you think about it, because that's not what's going on. Literally none of that's going on. And of course, have to mention one of my favorite Disney films. Of course, if you've been around my channel long enough, you would know one of my all time favorite anime features. Of course, had to be Alice in Wonderland, aside from Frozen, obviously. So yes, in some ways, I feel like I was under attacked in that regard because that's again, like I said, that's one of my favorite movies. Again, aside from the two Frozen films, and apparently there's a third one coming out. I guess we'll see how that goes. But okay, sidetracking there. But I mean, I know she wasn't directly saying that towards me specifically, obviously. She doesn't know me on a personal level, and I don't know her on a personal level. But she can piss right off anyway, because like I was saying, she sounds like a damn nutcase. That doesn't make any sense, like at all, whatsoever. It seems odd when you think about it. Because I mean, I could go on and on, but I just want to cut to the chase. There's like so many things that's wrong with this. But anyway, of course, followers of the Donald Trump community, I guess you can say. Yes, it's a cult at this point. When you think about it, it basically is a cult, which is I find kind of odd. Because how's that? Where was this? Where was any of this when Donald Trump was doing that show a while back? I'm pretty sure a lot of you remember. Was it the Emperor? I don't know. You know what I'm talking. Emperor? I don't know. I forgot the name of it, but the fact of the matter is that he was on that show. You're fired. You know all that stuff. Where was this? Where was any of this? Was it when he was on the air like that? I mean, wasn't he in the? Didn't he appear in an episode of wrestling a little bit? Was he on there? I believe so. He was on there. So where was that? Where was this kind of attitude when he was doing all these kinds of things like the Trump Tower and whatnot? When he was trying to do his own, when he was starting up his own business, and well, didn't he avoid it doing something in the military? Well, because he was in the military for like what to some extent, I think, if I remember correctly, and he just bought it because he didn't want to do nothing too serious. Again, where was all this attitude in the past? Just suddenly, boom, out of nowhere, he suddenly is the next Messiah. This literally comes out of why the hell out of nowhere. But I mean, I don't want to be just about this specific because even this right here, I could go on and on and on with this. But anyway, but Disney's bad because they claim that Disney is trying to brainwash kids somehow. I don't know how they're doing that because that's never explained really. How are they doing that? No, really, how are they doing that exactly? I mean, I know she listed this a few animated features, and she also mentioned the Wizard of Oz. Disney has nothing to do with that. Unless it did a version of it that I don't know about. I don't know. Because Disney has made so many movies. Whatever. Okay, that's, again, sidetracking there. But, of course, it's gotta think of the children, gotta help the kids, gotta help the kids, gotta help the kids, and whatnot. Just, I don't know, it just makes... And yes, the QAnon, yes, is spelled that way intentionally. This QAnon pretty much centers around on this claims that was made by this anonymous individual, or the individuals known as Q. These claims will, of course, be going back and forth and being delivered on these online communities. And influencers, the core believes that those some stuff that's going on of satanic, of course, satanic and whatnot, and just this kind of stuff. They believe a lot of people are conspiring against Donald Trump, and they have to protect Donald Trump at all costs. I mean, I spoke about this something similar before, where Donald Trump was complaining about the Star of David on a Frozen thing. Yeah, speaking of which, yeah, I spoke about this kind of thing. There was like a Frozen book or something that had a star in it, which Donald Trump I guess misread that somehow. The dumbass that he is. He thought Frozen was taking a jab at Star of David, the Star of David of the Bible and all that. I mean, again, I discussed this a while back, but point being, this was not the only time I've spoken about Disney, Frozen, and Disney, anything related to Disney or this kind of Christian individuals. This was not the only time, so don't be thinking that this come out of nowhere. All right, let's just wrap things up. Anyway, basically, I mean, yes, I could go on and on with this because there's so much to discuss here when it comes to this kind of thing. But basically, Disney is after the kids, to brainwash them, to go against the parents because in the Bible it says you should respect your parents. Don't go against authority. Be blindly obedient, whether it's your teacher or what have you. And I guess in this case, your parents. So Disney is planning this thing against Donald Trump. Where does this happen? Where? This never happened. This literally none of this ever happened. Like at all. Anyway, that'll be it, folks. So thanks for watching. Take care. See ya. This is just so stupid. It's so stupid. Oh my god.